Hey guys, what's up? Jared here. Move the phone. Decks and Dice, Ramblings of an LGS Owner, and I'm kind of just going to ramble a bit. Hence the name Ramblings of an LGS Owner. I was watching a few videos today, um, and it kind of got me to thinking, and I wanted to just word vomit some shit, I suppose. Uh, oh, hey, look, I made it like 38 seconds in without using a cuss word. I think that's a record. So, anyways, um, two of the videos I watched, and I'm not going to spout out creators or anything like that because A, small ass channel, no one gives a shit. B, no one gives a shit. So, anyways, one was kind of like lessons you can learn from a failed LGS, and then the other one was just the dude kind of rambling the way that I'm gonna ramble. Like it was pretty much just a overall feeling of things, and well, I don't know, kind of got me in the mood to do something like that. So here I am. Probably be all over the place with this, so keep try to keep up because I'm sure as shit not going to be responsible for my own squirrel and don't want to be responsible for yours. So here we go. Um, as far as the lessons to be learned thing, um, as most of you know, but some of you may not, that there's really two locations here that people can go to. The other one, uh, been in business for probably about 10 years or whatever. They are like standard issue default.exe LGS to go to. It's just the way it is. And then, here I come along 3 years down the road, just kind of like, oh God, please spend money here. We're here, we exist, come check us out, kind of thing. But, anyways, the thing with the lessons learned from a failed one was that this particular individual had like a partner and all that good stuff, and the partner didn't seem very interested in doing anything with the shop after they moved to, like, I think it was somewhere in California or whatever, and the dude got, ow, sorry, ankle. The dude got more interested in other business ventures and just kind of like fucked right off. Like, if you're gonna do this, like, don't really have partners, man. A lot of places kind of start off like that, and a lot of them just fall the fuck apart just because there's so many moving pieces that once one moving piece decides to say fuck it, it weakens the entire system. The other shop, and to throw this one out there, I am not throwing shade at the other shop around here or anything. I'm literally just, this is what it is. And it might cause fucking problems because I was like that with another shop in another town over when, sidetrack story here, when somebody came in for an event and they were like, yeah, these people, or, God, I really don't want to be an asshole. But anyway, so like, Reader's Digest version, the customer was like, this store owner did these guys wrong, and that store owner is an asshole because he did this to these guys who now work at the other shop that this customer was talking about. And just so happened, I was part of the team that came in directly after these people, and all I said to do was like, nah, man, really, the owner of that one was in the right because pretty much everything he said I witnessed and experienced with my own eyes and physical body and all that good stuff. Like, he was in the right. That's all I said. I didn't throw them under the bus or any of that bullshit. And then it went back to these people, and apparently that customer embellished some shit, I'm assuming, and now they hate my guts, kind of thing. So, I mean, it is what it is, and that shit happens. So, like, fuck it. Like, oh no, I'm not gonna waste my time trying to clarify some shit because they haven't even tried to approach me to clarify some shit. And I literally just said what I just said about the thing. Like, the dude was in the right. Everything he said was pretty much accurate, which is why they got canned. Boom, done. That's all I said. Um, but anywho, moving back to the whole partners thing and the other shop like next to mine or close to mine. Um, I knew that place before it's what it is now. It was a video game store, and hence the name that it has, which I'm not going to say, but that's how the shop has the name because it was a video game store. But there was like three or four other people involved in it, I believe, at least two or three. But anyways, um, and as time grew on, everyone kind of like weaseled out of it, or they got bought out, or whatever, and to where it is now. And the reason why I bring this up is because a lot of people, when I first started out, were comparing our shops. Like, hey, good luck, you're not going to make it because you don't have X, Y, and Z. I had like 3 cases when I first opened, and it was a struggle to stock the cases. I had like a binder or two of fucking singles. Like, I mean, it was my personal collection that I started this shop with, and that was it. Like, everything I had left from not having to sell to make it through the whole COVID era bullshit is what I dumped into the shop. Um, so, anyways, I kept hearing that, and it's like, yeah, I understand, but like, you guys need to understand that default.exe shop also had 3 or 4 other people to get it off the ground. It also had 3 or 4 other collections, or at least 1 or 2 big collections or whatever that were, you know, pooped out into the shop to help it go. There were multiple fingers in that little wheelhouse there to get it going, and it started with more than just what I had. So, like, hearing that stuff and everything, it's kind of demoralizing, but I was just like, fuck it, it is what it is. If I fail, I fail, or whatever. But the point behind telling that story is that even if you start with a strong group of people, you're probably going to go down to 1, maybe 2. Because that's exactly what happened to, default.exe shop. It's now just one guy out of the original 4 or 5 or whatever the hell it was who runs it, and he has, like, an one like standard employee and 2 other just part-time kind of do whatever they want to do things. Kind of like similar with me, except the the one that everyone sees the most of, which is Thrillbanks. He's actually my cousin, so like, I don't necessarily have to like pay him. I mean, I do pay him, but like, he doesn't have to be like 100% legitimate on the books, like boom employee kind of thing. And the other minions, they're volunteers for the most part. I give them stuff. They have like an employee discount they can use. They get first dibs on shit, etc., etc. But going back on track with that is just if you're going to open up a business like this, like an LGS or whatever, try like hell to do it on your own. As shitty as that sounds, just try like hell to make it like a one-man show. Because if you start with multiple people, it's probably going to end up being a one-man show anyways. So just go ahead and be a one-man show. Another thing that, like, in the failure of this particular business or whatever, was that price matching, price gouging, whatever the hell you want to call it, distributors and pre-orders and all that good shit. Like, this person was obviously without the partner or whatnot helping and feeding in money or whatever, which I'll touch on that a little bit later too, was obviously strapped for cash, which is 100% acceptable because this place, my shop right here, we scrape by like the skin of our fucking teeth. Like, if there were to be a, knock on wood, like hope to God it doesn't happen. If there were to be like a fucking $800 emergency that would make me have to like close the shop down, it would simply go under. Like, there's no sugarcoating that bullshit at all. Like, it would just go bye bye. It's that fragile currently. While everything is going the way it's supposed to be, it's not like horrible, don't get your panties in a wad over it or whatever, but like if there were something major to happen, it's a good chance it would completely ruin the shop currently. And I'm within the first 5 years, and that's pretty much par for the course with any new business. So while it sounds horrible, and it is, pretty fucking normal. Um, so like, I guess I just lost my train of thought because I heard a noise out front. Um, oh no, it's the tape blowing on that box over there. It's loose and it's making a little flapping sound. I'm dumb. Sorry, sorry. I'm definitely not gonna edit that out because I don't have an editor and fuck it. Um, so where was I? Oh yeah, the flying by the seat of your pants with the money and distributors and all that good stuff. Um, with distros and having to order stuff, like you don't know what's really going to happen. You don't know what product is going to be the next big seller. You don't know which one's going to flop because anything can happen. Something that's supposed to flop could take off. Something that was supposed to be hot could be a total flop. You don't know. And having to pre-order shit anywhere from 3 months to 8 months in advance to before it actually like comes out is horrible because you don't know. Um, and usually by the time that you do know something, distros have cut off the pre-order window, so you can't even call up your rep and be like, hey man, instead of these like 13 cases of this, I really only want like 8 because it doesn't look that good. Or, hey man, instead of 13 cases, I want, 20 cases because it looks like it's going to be fucking awesome. By the time any of that shit happens, your cutoff date has come and gone, and you can't alter the shit unless you want to hurt your reputation with your distro. And that means if you hurt your reputation with your distro, you get fucked on allocations, you get fucked on phone calls of, hey, we have extra this and thought about you, or insert any other stupid little fucking perk or anything you might think of that could give you like a leg up. You'll get cut out of just because you, I don't know, had to cancel something or you didn't take your full allocation of X, Y, and Z. And like coming from looking at it from a distro's point of view, I understand because they order accordingly and then more. But let's also not pretend that these distros won't order way more than they need to, and then 6 months later with like premium products such as like, I don't know, Double Masters or Double Masters 2020 or any of that shit, 6 months, 8 months, a year, 2 years down the road won't be like, oh hey, we found these pallets of Double Masters here. Buy these boxes from us at $400 a box because they're going for $600 a box or whatever on the open market, and we're just matching secondary market shit. Ha 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 ha. It's like, yeah, fuck you. Like, we know what you're doing. It's part of the game. I get it. I understand it. And that was like a friendly fuck you, but like, fuck you regardless, It's like, we know what the hell's going on. It's a shitty fucking practice. Everyone likes to get mad at the LGSs and all that shit, but realistically, the distros are the ones that everyone should be fucking mad at. And that's even stretching it because without the distros, you wouldn't have the LGSs because none of these fucking places want to deal directly with the LGSs anymore because it's like having a fucking like HR group or something, like the human fucking shields. Like the distros are the human shields between the LGS's general public and WotC or and Konami or Bandai or insert any other fucking game company here. Um, but it's just part of the game that you have to fucking play. And it is what it is. So working with just the whole distribution shit is it's meant to fuck you for the most part anyways, unless you're some huge already established shop that just buys hundreds of thousands of dollars of product every fucking release, and you can do this whole like volume sales thing to where you can make back your fucking shit by selling an actual X amount because you know you're going to sell an X amount or whatever. Like it's volume. Small shits like mine that do really small volume or whatever, we kind of get fucked when it comes to just bare ass selling product. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We make our money with like buying collections, selling singles, all that good shit. There's really nothing to be made as far as selling sealed product for almost any fucking game anymore. Like, your average that you're gonna make off of any fucking booster box is about 15 to 20 bucks. That's just the reality of it. Arguably, you can say that, like, Yu-Gi-Oh boxes, for instance. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh boxes run us anywhere from like 50 to 70 bucks a box, okay? Depends on the set and all that good bullshit, but it's usually, we'll say like 60 bucks, usually more comfortable in there. You sell Yu-Gi-Oh boxes for anywhere from between 84 and 89. If you're selling them at like 72 or 74, you're just trying to fucking fire sell that shit and get out from underneath it. Regardless of, the cool thing about that is like the boxes are cheaper than like your $115 like play booster. So like I can buy 2 boxes of fucking Yu-Gi-Oh for the price of 1 play booster typically, and there's 20 bucks to be made per box. So like arguably, yes, Yu-Gi-Oh and like Bandai games and stuff like that, any box that is under that $70 mark, you're still only going to make 20 bucks on it most likely. The margins are better than like a Magic box. I mean, it's a thing. But my point being there is that you're still only going to make like 20 bucks a box. 15, 20, 25, and special shits aside because they're kind of unicorns, like premium sets, 20 is going to be what you're going to do. So unless you're selling hundreds or thousands of these boxes, it's not really, sealed is not where you're going to make most of your money on. And that's why like buying singles and selling singles and all that good stuff is pretty much the lifeblood of a small ass shop like mine. And I think like distros understand the whole sealed thing, but they just don't give a shit. And rightfully so, it's business. Like as soon as we buy it from them, who the fuck cares? It's like me selling a couple of boxes to a reseller or some shit where like, okay, let's say that I'm selling, or like play boxes are 140. If I sell them the box for like 120, then they can go back and flip it and make 15 bucks or some shit. Like, woo, yay. The margins just really aren't there. I guess I should just leave it at that. And that cripples small shops, especially like I said, like mine or any other small shop trying to start. One of the more interesting things about a lot of these shops that you see on YouTube, or these entities or whatever the hell you want to call them, they've had a leg up some way, somehow, that they're just not 100% telling you about. there's something in the background, be it they literally saved for 10 years to do this shit and it's always been a dream, and they went ahead and opened up like 4 or 5 fucking credit cards with 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 like limits on each of them, or they were astroturfed by some other like shell company or some shit. um, don't quote me on this one, but I think, but like Moon City and Starfire Games, one of those two, that was the scenario. The people who started one of those already had this huge, like, $1 million company or some shit, and they wanted to branch out into this. So they were using the multi-million-dollar company to prop up whichever one it was, Moon City or Star City, Channel Fireballs, whatever, whichever one it was, like, using that company to prop up that one while it gathered steam and could actually grow and flourish to what it is now. Some of the other creators and channels you see, like, there's stuff going on in the background that's not just LGS related. There are other things happening that perpetuate the business that you see when they do a video or whatever. It's just, they don't tell you, just, it's a thing. Like me, for the first 2.5 years I was doing this, I was working a full-time job that was supporting the shop and paying the bills and everything, and what little bit the fucking shop could make was going right back into the shop, which is like why it continues to grow the way that it grows, or grew the way that it grew, or whatever. Um, Text message. Oh, thank you for showing up to your doctor's appointment. Okay. But anyways, so like there's a whole bunch of other random bullshit in the background that happens with a lot of these other places that people just aren't aware of, or they don't tell you. Like, and that's just the way shit goes. I'm not even throwing shade or any of that shit. It's just, I guess I'm feeling some sort of way because I've had like the last week and a couple of days or whatever just to kind of like think about shit and like, I guess, try to put myself into someone else's point of view looking at the shop. Like, why aren't you doing X, Y, and Z? Why aren't you at this step in the game? Like, why don't you ever have, hundreds of fucking boxes just in backstock ready to be bought? Or, like, why aren't you where I think you should be? And, like, the simple reason behind that is because I don't have anything else to astroturf me. I don't have any magical fucking partners that can just give me money. I don't have any partners that have like, hey man, I want out and here's the rest of my collection or whatever. I don't have any of that shit. I don't have, credit cards with hundreds of thousands of dollars on them or whatever, because my credit sucks and my credit just so happens to be the shop's credit. So like it's null and void. Um, there's and it's me saying that shit is not like whining and crying. It's just the reality of it. This shop gets by merely because of the people who come here and spend money. And the online sales are great and all that good stuff too. Like, if any of that shit were to stop, the shop would just simply collapse, and that's just it. Because there's nothing really in like a rainy day fund either, because everything is so razor fucking thin. So that's why, you know, I started up the Patreon, because it's nice to have a second revenue stream. Granted, it's only probably pooping out like $200 a month right now, and I would like for that to get bigger, yes, of course, but like it's doing a little bit. Um, it's why I always try to tell people to like and sub on these fucking videos and shit. I would like to have revenue streams from YouTube or Instagram or Twitter, X, whatever the fuck you want to call it now, Rumble, whatever, dude. Like, I'm trying to open up multiple revenue streams because it's it's just me trying to do this shit, you know, with no other pre-established shit at all, and it's super fucking hard and super fucking frustrating and stressful. And despite all of that, and with the way that people are always like, you shouldn't start something unless you have 100K or whatever, like, cool, I guess, but then you'll never try, you'll never have anything. Like, I'm a little dumb when it comes to this, but I would have rather have the story of I tried and failed versus nah, man, it was too scary, so I just pussed out and didn't do it. That's just me. I mean, you're gonna lose shit regardless. You're gonna lose money to whatever the fuck. You're gonna lose your time to something. You're gonna lose your effort to something. It might as well be you losing this shit to something that you at least started. So that's kind of the way that I view that. And like I said, rambling, just fucking swirl all over the place. It is what it is. Apologize. Call this a therapy video if you want, but cheers and shit. Um, then like I don't know. The other video that I was watching as well was kind of like just a like I said, he just was rambling like I just rambled, which I thought was kind of nice because you don't really get a lot of that. Sometimes you get some of that stuff in some of the creators I watch, but it makes me wonder if at this point, when you watch the video from this person who rakes in $2,000-3,000 a month from YouTube or any other like ad revenues they might have, or any other random sources like Patreon or whatnot, like you kind of have to think to yourself, like, at that point when they're making that video about X, Y, and Z, is it really the way that they felt when they were first starting out, or is it coming from a point of like, I hate to say this word too because it's not accurate, but it's all I've got, but like from like a point of privilege of like, well, now I can say this because I've got thousands coming in per month from my Patreon or my online shit or blah blah blah. It makes me wonder if it's just they're looking back at shit with like a clouded point of view because the struggle is not real anymore. you know like, I've always kind of wondered that, and I've wanted to ask them, but like I don't think there's a civil way to really ask something like that without someone trying to get all like upset and uppity about it. And I don't know what that feels like because I'm not there, like I'm not pulling in that kind of money from other revenue streams to be like to sit back and have like a fucking moment to just consider the lilies on it. It's a weird little space to be in. Just like running your own business and like this little niche thing, and knowing that it's a fucking struggle. Like it's always gonna be a struggle, but trying to like convey that to everyone without coming off as trying to be like a whiny bitch, which I'm not trying to be. I'm just trying to be as open and transparent with everyone as possible so you all know where I'm coming from, where like the shop is standing, because I don't give a fuck if you guys know where the shop is standing or not. Like I said, like if there's a $800, maybe even $1,000 emergency shit, the shop's gone. It just is what it is. But that doesn't mean that it's going to collapse tomorrow, and it doesn't mean that I'm not going to still have to spend money to make it keep going. It's just one of those things. Like, I don't know, I've been working poor pretty much my entire fucking life. Like, living like that is nothing new. I live well within my means, but it doesn't mean that I have the funds to absorb much of anything. Just kind of is what it is. like I said, I just trying to be as transparent as possible with you guys, as like upfront, and just letting you know what it's all about, like from the perspective of an actual like struggling, oh my god, need to make it, kind of a business, not a cushy, I can talk about this shit now because I'm not worried about this shit anymore point of view. Um, so yeah, I guess maybe I'll just leave it at that. Like I said, it was kind of just something I wanted, a video I wanted to make, um, just to throw it out there. Like I said, like maybe even a therapy session. I got nothing. No, the shop is not in like a dire strait of fucking collapsing tomorrow. We do need your continued loyalty and support, just like any other fucking shop does. Uh, Signing up for the Patreon is a great way to continue supporting the shop. I would love to see, like, just for random bullshit, we've got like 1.2k followers or something on like Facebook. I know, woo, Facebook. Anyways, point being, like, if everyone on there just signed up for the bottom ass tier of our damn Patreon, which is like $1.50 a month, that's over $1,000. Well, after the fees and everything, it would probably be around about $1,000 or whatever. But that would be $1,000 a month that the shop would have to just stay afloat, you know. And I know not everyone's gonna sign up for that shit. It's, in a perfect world, sure, and not everyone can afford to do that. But like, it's $1.50. I, it's $1.50 a month. Like, if you can't find $1.50 in your couch cushions, I'm confused. But again, like, I'm not expecting everyone to do it. It's just an example. If everyone were to do it, that in and of itself would perpetuate the shop forward, and then I'd be able to dump everything back into the shop again, keep growing, blah, 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 and it would be fucking spectacular, but probably not going to happen. And I also get that having a Patreon for such a small thing is weird. Even asking people to sign up for it is kind of strange. Wanting to grow this up to get like ad revenue from YouTube. Everyone, their fucking brother is a fucking, I don't know, video maker, YouTuber, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So it's like, yeah, shut the fuck up, Jared. I get it. Like, subscribe, interact, share, blah, blah, blah. I'm telling you that shit so that we can maybe hit numbers to keep the fucking shop around, man. I'm not saying that to, feel my asshole quiver when I talk. It's a legit thing. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, just had that week or so to fucking sit back and think about stuff and kind of put things into perspective. Just looking at shit through what I perceive, what the outside would see the shop as being. Having that introspective moment, just kind of, just life things. You hit these moments in life where you just get these, like, I don't want to say epiphanies, but you just get these moments of like weird clarity, or you just want to, grab your fucking bootstraps, pull them motherfuckers up, and just stomp around and just go, like, make shit happen. And I guess that's kind of why I'm throwing something like this out there, just for you guys to all realize. I mean, like, I know that you get that resources make the world go round. The business needs money to keep going, so forth and so forth. And I know you guys understand that, but I guess I just needed to, like, say it in a more direct manner that the margins are so fucking thin with the products that we sell that I know that you guys might think that once we clear out something, we made a shit ton of money. We didn't. It's a huge fucking struggle. and it is what it is. I wouldn't trade it for anything else because it's what I wanted, and I like it being that way. Um, but like, it just seems like we're hitting that point to where I'm gonna have to make a decision within like the next year or so that if that this is what I want to continue doing, or I want to hand it off to someone else and just wipe my hands with it, you know. Um, and that's actually par for the course with most fucking businesses, anyways. I mean, if it's not going to do what you want it to do and it's been over 3 or 4 years and you're just still spinning your fucking tires or whatever, then you obviously probably just need to cut your fucking losses and try something else, which is going to be my outlook on it. Um, we've been in business 3 years. Honestly, if this shit's not producing the way that I want it to produce at that 5 year mark, I probably will end up ditching the shop, selling it to someone or whatever who probably has deeper pockets than I do that can live up to you guys' expectations, I guess, of having stocked shelves all the time and supporting 12 different fucking games that come out, or, you know, all that good shit. I guess that's really kind of what this whole fucking video is about, is me being like, hey guys, look, I'm sorry I'm not living up to like your expectations of what a shop should be, because it's kind of, I'm doing the best that I can, but like, I feel bad for you guys because I don't have everything that I think that you guys want me to carry. Um, you know, I don't have the vast inventory of like singles and shit. I mean, we got a lot of singles, don't get me wrong, but you know, I don't have, damn, fucking goatee hair. Um, I don't I don't feel like the shop has everything that it needs to accommodate everybody, you know. And I know that a lot of you regulars are going to be like, nah, man, shut the fuck up, you're doing fine. And to an extent, I am, but I feel like I could be doing better had, if, I'll say, if I can get one or two of these other extra revenue streams that I'm trying to build actually up and running and producing something. Like, there would be a snowball effect that I could manage to just completely just blow shit out of the water, you know. But anyways, oh, go fuck yourself, scam call. I hate those fucking things. Your Google, blah blah blah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll stop whining and just let that shit ring, because it's the Google thing. Um, but yeah. Anyways, you guys have a good one, and again, like, it's like a therapy session or something, but I also didn't mean to come off as like a whiny bitch. It was just some shit that I watched earlier today and thought maybe I should just shit out a random blah 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 video just because. And for those of you who are probably watching this and being like, well, yeah, shut the fuck up, motherfucker. No one told you to do this. No one held a gun to your head. It's all your fault. I mean, you're right. There's, what do you want me to say about that shit? You're right. But at least I had the balls, the gumption to do it, and that's more than what most people do. So, yeah, it's all my fucking fault, but it's all my fucking fault. I did this, you know, so I can be proud of that shit. You can tell me I'm a waste of space and it was all my fault all you want. And like I said, you're right. But I did this. Not a lot of people can say that. So, anyways, shut the fuck up. Gonna leave you guys alone. As I always try to say at the end of these videos, and I'm taking my advice on this as well because I want to get the fuck over myself here in a second. But you know, fucking life is not a dick. You don't have to take it so hard. You guys have a good one.